let's talk about it a little bit. Go to the second slide.
Hi there, welcome to today's Wednesday webinar. In this webinar, we are talking about World Thinking Day 2018, specifically for Daisies, Brownies, and Juniors. And we have Miss Tammy Fisher on the line, who's going to help walk us through this. She is our global action guru right now and has done a lot of exploring with both World Thinking Day and Global Action that are programs set up by the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, of which you all and we all are members. So, yay wags, and welcome Tammy. Say hi, Tammy.
Thank you. Hi.
And so tell us about World Thinking Day, Tammy.
So World Thinking Day, as you all know, happens every February 22nd, and this is the time when Girl Scouts across the world and Girl Guides across the world are supposed to be thinking about each other and have a common goal or theme for the year. This year's theme is impact. And if you think back to what you've done throughout the year and throughout your years of Girl Scouts, what impact have you had on the community, on other girls' lives, on the world, that type of stuff? So they defined impact as having a strong effect on something or someone.
Nice. Hopefully a positive impact as Girl Scouts. Tell everybody why it's on February 22nd. Do you remember? Do I know?
No,
I don't know. That's Lord Baden-Powell and Lady Baden-Powell's birthdays, like 21 years apart. Whatevs, different time. But it was they both had the same birthday, which was February 22nd. Coincidentally, it's George Washington's birthday, but he was like 100 years before them. Anyway. I thought that was something that you would know. Yeah, Boy Scouts actually celebrate World Thinking Day too, because Lord Baden-Powell was the one who started the Scout movement in England and was friends of our girl Juliet Gordon-Low, who went over and worked with them and then brought Girl Scouts, the idea of Girl Scouts, back to the United States. So, yay!
I did know that, but it was like, think of it at the moment.
Deer in the headlights moment.
Right.
So, World Thinking Day 2018, Girl Scouts and Girl Guides will be thinking about what it means to make an impact on the world, which is awesome. Let's look at what you've got. So, do you want me to go right to the website, or do you want to talk about stuff that's on this slide?
Let's talk a little bit first. So, okay. The World Day Award, you can earn it every single year. It always has different requirements every year.
Nice.
So it goes on the front of the vest or the sash. It's just like a badge. All right. So you can always find the requirements on the GSUSA website. So Dawn can go there right now.
Okay, let's go there. Click. And click again. Yeah. World Thinking Day. Dun, dun, dun. So this, in case you're looking it up on your own, girlscouts.org, and you can put in the search World Thinking Day. Although I will be posting the slideshow, so it'll be in the files on the GSME Volunteer Swap if you want to access that for notes too. And then, as you noticed, Tammy made the patch a hyperlink. I love the magical times we live in now. Anyway, so do you want me to scroll down so we can see the So you see from this page, we scroll down, and here we've got the Daisy Brownie Junior requirements, and they've given us 5 activities. Go for it, Tammy.
And keep in mind, you only need to do one of those activities to earn this award.
Right.
All right. It's not a patch. It's an award. So remember, it goes on the front of the vest.
Nice.
They're not difficult awards to earn. Keep in mind, they're set up for both Daisy, Brownie, and Junior. So you may want to do something. Let's take and look at number 3, I think, Dawn.
Okay. Get together
Yeah.
with your Girl Scout friends to try this activity showing how your actions impact other people's lives. You'll need a large, shallow bowl or basin filled with water and one small rock or marble for each girl in the group. Okay, one by one. Go ahead.
This is a great activity for daisies, all right? So they basically drop the rock or the marble in the water and then talk about and see how the impact, how that marble impacts the water, makes the waves and stuff.
Nice.
And then you're supposed to talk about how that impacts, something you say or do makes an impact on people around you.
Nice.
So very easy to do with daisies. Now, what you want to do is take it maybe a step further with brownies and even a little bit further with juniors,
Right.
all right?
Progression.
So, yes, progression, all right? Again, the next one, number 4, talks about diversity. So you want to kind of start maybe with what is diversity? What do they see in diversity in their school? That type of stuff, in their community.
Right.
And then there's a little game that they play that talks about different languages, and they have to make their little game. All right?
Cool.
And we'll go ahead and look at number 5.
Number 5 is easy. It's just doing a journey.
No, it's not doing a journey.
Are you sure? Isn't that what it says?
They go on a leadership journey. They don't have to do a journey. What they're supposed to do is do a take action project. All right. So they're supposed to look at something that is important to them and do a take action project.
Gotcha.
But not necessarily a journey. A journey like, one of the program journeys.
Well, because they added the exclamation point, that's what I assumed it was. But okay, I'll believe that. I mean, all the journeys end in take action projects, so it seems like there's a redundancy, but also a double dipping. One of the things with this first activity you talked about, number 3, they talk about the ripples, but what they didn't mention is if you were to put a bowl of water and mark where the level of the water was, and then as each girl dropped her rock in, it would offset the water. It would increase the life force that is water in the bowl. And so there would not only be a ripple, but it would be deepening the pool, as it were. So you could use a marker and mark it on the side.
Which is great because they talk about how kindness travels. So you think about you've added kindness and happiness and great things to the world, So number 2 talks about women that have had a major impact on society, on the world. And you basically take a book out of the library and read about it.
Right.
So with these, you might take a book and read it during one of your meetings. With brownies and juniors, you might have a reading assignment that they've done in school or something like that and talk about it together.
Right. Well, and just thinking about that, in the It's Your World, Change It journey at the junior level, the one that's got the spider and the it's like a graphic novel kind of thing about kids going to an animal shelter. They highlight 6 or 8 women who have done amazing things, and I believe it includes Malala, who's she's a young adult now, but who was basically a child when it started, and it goes all the way back to like Susan B. Anthony and then everything in between. Not everything, but 6 or 8 between. So that might be a starting place. If you've got some junior girls, you could have them look at the ones who are in that journey and then pick one that they want to do some more research on. And again, we live in such magical times with all the information at our fingertips that you could look it up in your meeting on cell phone or in the computer, or you could go to the library and ask the librarian to help you find. I love that idea, going to the library and asking the librarian to find some books that would tell about that person and what she was part of. I'm picturing Elizabeth Cady Stanton and Lucretia Mott, because they did that first gathering of women. Seneca, New York. Yeah. Sorry, I'm stuffy, and so my brain is just going all over the place. But but yeah, this is a terrific one for exploring what women have done. What's the first one? The first one is so long.
And think about it with number two, you've got a field trip involved where you could actually go to the library and explore the library at the same time.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And
number one is you take a hike or a walk, but keep in mind this is Maine, so
right.
This one talks Maine in the winter. So this one talks about you're supposed to take your notebook or sketch pad
right.
at the same time. So you may want to just take the walk and have the girls kind of note what they see.
Right.
And then I'll do the sketch back at their site.
Or at least rest for being out in the weather if you're really gonna keep them out there doing it. What fun.
But they're supposed to look at, things that they see that could make an impact on. You see, like, say you walk a bike path and there's a lot of trash and a lot of broken branches along the bike path and that type of stuff. They could then sketch that and at some point go back and take care of those things.
Right.
But each girl has her own sketch, and then they put all their sketches together on one large sheet of paper. So it's kind of like a collage.
Cool. That's neat too, because think about the conversations you could have about different perspectives and how we all went to the same place, but look at how we saw different things, and we saw the different things differently, and the way we drew them came out differently too. And so, what does that say about people, and how does that give us some compassion for how other people are coming from different perspectives from us, and sometimes listening. We have to listen with more intent to understand where they're coming from. Really, you could go with this conversation, and depending on the age of the girls and their ability to grasp the concepts. But I also think we tend to underestimate kids' ability to grasp concepts. So maybe start a little high and then come down if you need to. Blow your
and number one, you could even just go to the fire station or the police station and just walk around their place and see something that they may need. Maybe they need some flowers in a flower garden someplace, or some flowers around their sign, that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's nice. And it's nice to do a service for people who are doing service in your community, isn't it? So that could be a really cool thing. Yeah, I think each of those is a fun activity, and your troop may decide it wants to do more than one, but the girls only need to do one of these activities to earn the award that would be worn on the front of their vest or sash. And if your service unit has a World Thinking Day planned, then sign your girls up and take them to that. But if it doesn't, consider doing these activities, or at least one of these activities, in your troop sometime in February. World Thinking Day always falls during February break, and so sometimes troops will say, oh, it's during the break, we can't do it. Well, you don't have to do it on the 22nd. You could do it before, you could do it after. Some troops and even some service units link it to the birthday in March. The point is to get the girls thinking about other people around the world as well as other people locally. So that is the adventure there. Let's go back to this. Next one, let's do one activity, Brownies and Juniors. What other things do you have for the Daisy Brownie Junior World Thinking Day?
So I did an activity summary so that you could kind of look at these summaries, because there's a lot of words on the so your girls need to kind of decide which one they want to do,
right,
and then do it. They're not very difficult to do, but make sure that you're making it age appropriate too.
Right.
And you discuss with the girls what they've learned through the activities. All right.
Yeah, I mean, I could really see working with, especially by the time the girls are juniors, I could see doing 3 to 5 of these over the course of a couple of meetings. But for Daisies, doing any one of these in a meeting would be really fun, and it would be something that you could bring them back to. Come back to afterwards and remember when we did blah blah blah. We went to the fire station and we identified that they needed some flowers indoors because February is so dark, or whatever, whatever it is. Or remember in Swahili, do you remember the movements that we put to each of those Swahili words? That's something that girls would come back to and they would eat it up. Plus, they would have learned those 4 words in Swahili. Or
And
maybe other language. Yeah. Say it again.
I like number 3. Your actions impact,
Yeah.
and please bring that back to a meeting when you start to have, problems in the way the girls are acting or something like that. You know.
Yeah. Well, and how many adults, but certainly how many kids are semi-oblivious to the fact that they do have an impact on other people's lives. So it's that can be really powerful. I think a really powerful aha opportunity for um, the kids in the troop, the girls in the troop, to go, oh, you mean it matters if I come in grumpy, or it matters if I do something nice for somebody else, or it matters, um, I don't know, whatever it is, it makes a difference. Um, because I think that a lot of kids especially, but I think a lot of humans in general just forget that everything they do has an impact on somebody else and something in the world. Cool. Okay. And there you go. I think that's what we've got for Daisy Browning Jr. World Thinking Day activities. Um, Remember, you can go to the girlscouts.org to get more information, and we'll be posting this video will be posted both on the GSME Volunteer Swap and the YouTube channel. So if you wanted to share it with your service unit or with the parents in your troop, you could do that from the YouTube channel. And I'll post the slideshow slides in a file on the volunteer swap. So if you want to use those for notes, you're welcome to do that. Thank you so much, Tammy, for all of your prep and for logging in. And we're going to shut this down so that we can record the next one. Thanks.
Thank you.